that's all right.
I'll copy the thing and then I'll pass it on.
And it looks like we're live.
Going live now. Okay, share. Okay, I'll just that's the code for YouTube. Okay, I just sent it to you by messenger.
Okie dokie.
All right. And
so
again, I will make the host now.
Yeah.
Host. Okay, I'm just gonna get my coffee and we'll start.
Cool.
Okay, ready to go.
Okay, let's let these guys in.
Okay.
Just a couple more to join. Hello, everybody.
Good morning, everyone.
Just coming through. Nice to see you all here.
Good morning, everyone.
Morning. Dimitri's still waiting to join. Maybe just a little bit of a slow connection, but he should be with us in a moment, and then we'll get cracking. I'm sure more people will join us as the time goes on. It's always the way. Can barely contain my excitement today because, as we know, many of you have sent in your entries to the competition, and Luca has been perusing those, of course, closely, and I believe has chosen a winner, so we'll be announcing that. And also, unashamedly, I want to tell everybody here now that I personally am going to be talking about Luca's micro school on this course, on this call. Reason being, it starts on Monday at 9 a.m. And there's a lot more to it than you might imagine if you haven't checked out the micro course page itself. And you know, Luca's got special reasons for laying this on, so I want to make sure everybody's up to speed and can take advantage of all the opportunities in front of us. So I'm going to hand over to Luca while I keep my eye on the waiting room and make sure that other people join us and give everybody a chance to join. And I don't really know which way Luca's going to take this, whether he's going to tell us straight away or give us a bit of news and tell us in a bit, but over to you.
We'll wait a few minutes just to make sure that people can get in, people that are slightly late. For everybody, I've been following the news, the crypto news for a while now. And this is, not starting from now, but starting from, really from last year. And it's kind of like seeing the deluge of news that are around at the moment. It's almost like difficult to understand if you've been in this space for a little while, because November, December, you have to go and fish really hard to find anything related to crypto in the news. And now, whether it will take a few minutes to find some crypto-related news and kind of like you will show everybody, to make everybody understand, look, this is coming, this is happening. Now it's almost like too much to take in, even on a daily basis. I do a morning show on Clubhouse, where we just look at the last 24 hours, and it's even difficult to fit everything that happens, in 24 hours in just an hour of discussion. Today, we only have an hour, but I've selected about 10 different bits of news that would be worth talking about. So we will need a lot more time than what we have to talk about everything. But I wanted to talk about a couple of things first, just to make you understand, to put things into context again. And it's something that I was talking with Duncan just before we started the call. It was really interesting because he's in Vietnam, and for once Vietnam came out on top of this particular classification. So let me just share my screen so I can show you, and so you know what I'm talking about. Okay, yeah, we are talking about chain analysis report, and we talk. This is kind of like on-chain data. Okay, so it's hard data, hard facts. So what we're seeing, Bitcoin adoption surged 880% in 1 year, and emerging markets lead the way. So we've spoken about this before. Okay, as I was saying, that this will be something that is driven from the bottom up, and in particular we are leading from the countries that have more problems dealing with the established systems, and really and crypto is offering them a way of operating away from the established systems that they find difficult to engage with. So we're seeing that the countries that are leading in the adoption rate are Vietnam, India, Pakistan, Ukraine, Kenya, Nigeria, Venezuela. Does that ring a bell? Argentina, does that ring another bell? Two countries whose financial system has collapsed in recent times, Venezuela and Argentina, are between the fastest adopters of cryptocurrency. Colombia, Thailand, China as well, surprisingly, even with all the problems that they have, Brazil, the Philippines. So you get an idea about where the users are coming from: Ghana, Russia, Tanzania, Afghanistan. Why is this? Is because they don't have a system that they can use because their economy is failing, their institutions are failing, and people are looking for alternative ways of exchanging values, of doing transactions that are not using the established system. Now, it's interesting to notice that Kenya is there. Kenya is actually, funny enough, is one of the early innovators in the crypto industry, even before blockchain was as popular as it is. They found a way of transacting with each other, paying each other with mobile minutes. And this is even before that particular network was into blockchain. Then it developed into a proper coin, and that people were able to carry on using that particular system. But when people first started using it, they were trying to find a way of doing this without using the local currency. So you see how enterprising people are trying to find alternatives. Well, cryptocurrency are giving people in these countries that alternative that they didn't have before. And this is what we're seeing, the wave of new users, not coming from the US, from Europe, from Australia, or from established economies, but it is coming from new economies, okay, places where they're having real problems to lead their daily life, okay, and this is where the innovation. So it's really important to understand, because understanding who's driving this movement, and what we are achieving with it. Okay, so this is one bit. The other important bit that I wanted to show you is this one, which would be surprising to many people. That if we're looking at US wages, and I'm talking about real wages, so real wage means once we have discounted inflation, and this is particularly dear to me because I've got a background as an economist, so I look at the big forces at play here. And I've spoken to you before, for those of you that came onto the masterclass that we've had a couple of months ago, to what happened in 1971 when we went off the the gold standard, and what that has meant for people. Okay, what really has meant is that if you see where we were in the 1970s and when we are now, in real terms, people on average are earning less per hour from the work they were earning on 1971. Okay, So just get it into understand that and understand what it means, because over the same time, the productivity has increased immensely. So people are working, they are producing more value, but they're not seeing any of that. So where is this value going? In whose pocket is it going? And it is going onto the owners of the assets. So this is why is cryptocurrency important, is because it is making owning assets, which was really available to a small percentage of the population, it's made it possible for everybody to get involved. And so anybody can invest now from a little amount. So you don't need to have big capitals behind you to be able to, purchase a business or purchase a house or something like that as an investment. Now, the difference that cryptocurrency has made for many people is that it has democratized the access to assets. Okay, and so just imagine yourself, where do you want to be? Do you want to be on this graph where you work, you kind of onto this rat wheel and you pedal as fast as you can to just stay in the same place, or you want to be in a place where actually you are on the asset owning part of the equation, it's growing their importance in the whole economy. Now, and this is what I say, as the average has stayed the same, when we look into it and we're seeing a different bands on the society, we're seeing that the lowest 10% has actually reduced their purchasing power over 50 years, and the top 10% has increased their purchasing power by 15%. So it is true what they're saying, that everybody's saying the rich get richer, the poor get poorer. Is absolutely true, and this is our data that proves it. And this is the reason why I wanted to talk about these two things first before we talking about the microscope, because I want you to understand how important this is. Our kind of like a tidal shift this represents in the world. I'm not talking for you, they are on this call, but generally for everybody in the world, and how we are bringing, again, let's go back to this, and what it means for the people in Vietnam, in Pakistan, in Kenya, Nigeria, in Togo, in Colombia, Venezuela. What it means is that now they can be part of the world financial system in a way that they couldn't be before. Okay, and so where do you want to be? Do you want to be, in the part that is making this possible? Do you want to embrace change and embrace innovation, or do you want to sit on the sideline and see it just happen in front of your eyes? Because we are witnessing the largest transfer of wealth that the world has ever seen. Okay, whether you get involved or not, it's up to you. But the one thing I want to tell you is just do not waste time. So you either get involved or you're not. That's your decision. But if you are thinking of getting involved, do it now and don't wait, because then you will see this train, pass by you. There are, by the way, there is a huge wave waiting to hit. This is the exchange traded funds, okay, ETFs. There are 23 filings in the US to establish an exchange traded fund. Okay, none of them has been approved yet. Let me just stop this for a second. None of them has been approved yet, but we are waiting for an approval to come in very, very, very quickly. And we talk about different things later. When that happens, we will see a huge amount of institutional and corporate funds entering the crypto industry through the share system. So people will be able to put their money into regulated funds, on the stock exchange, and just buy shares in these funds, which will make it very easy to buy and sell their participation in crypto simply through buying shares on the stock exchange. This is massive. There have been some ETFs that already had regulatory approval elsewhere in the world. So we're talking about Germany, Switzerland, Canada, but not in the US. And that's obviously that's the big market that everybody's waiting. We have been getting ready for that because there have been steps in place, or there have been index there have been established, and the regulator has been kind of like being caught off guard because they're not quite ready to approve it yet. But kind of like, again, the wave of popular demand is increasing, and from more and more insiders think that this will happen sooner rather than later. So we might see to begin with, at least a Bitcoin ETF being approved before the end of the year. Okay, Duncan, shall we go into the competition now? As I have done this, preamble, talking about these things, and the reason why I have created this micro school at the moment, after the education micro school that went on, in particular because we have a great opportunity right now, and I wanted to make sure that you have the chance to access at a really, really low price point. So I have, you might, many of you have actually commented on the fact that why is it so cheap? And it's not cheap because what I do is cheap. It's cheap because I really want you to have no excuses in actually getting yourself involved, and no excuses in saying it's too complicated, because I'm going to take you from absolute zero into being able to do everything you need to do to manage your portfolio. Okay, and this is within a week, starting on Monday. So I will. It's going to be a practical week. So I don't expect you to just sit back and just listen to me for 2 hours a day. But what I will expect you to do, I expect you to do homework every day, and I need to see you doing the steps that I will ask you to do every day to set yourself up. Because this is not just a chatting about things. This is practical, and I want you to get you sorted. By the end of the week, I want to see you all having studied and started creating your own portfolio. Okay, this is where I am going to take you. So what we've agreed, I mean, we'll announce the winner of the competition. I know many of you have entered the competition, so we'll announce the winner in a minute. And also on top of that, what we have agreed with Duncan is that for the people on the call, we are going to offer a 40% discount on the price that you see on GeniusU. So Duncan will give you a discount code, and the one thing that we can ask you though, if we could, for those of you that are interested and they want to take part, can you please do it sooner rather than later, because we need to start on Monday, and also to be easy on Duncan, we don't want him to work the weekend having to onboard people. So if we can do it today, it would be very, very welcome for everybody. So now, so can we have Duncan? Can you do a drum roll?
Very kind, Luca. Thank you for that mention. It's a genuine one. Okay, here we go.
Okay. So I'm happy to see that the person that I have selected to win the competition is actually on the call. So we don't have that problem. I have three on my list just in case, because I only want to give the prize to somebody that's that takes the time to come to these calls. And the winner of the free place is, I'm not quite sure if I pronounced it correctly, but Jaya. Okay. So congratulations.
Thank you so much, Luca. I'm so honored to have this. I never thought I would be the winner. I'm so excited. Thank you so much, Luca. Thanks.
That's all right. No, you're very welcome. And as I said, there wasn't any particular obstacle into applying or participating, and I know many of you were beginners. But the one thing that was interesting by looking at all the entries is that kind of like every single one of the entries, focused on answering the questions, focused on the financial aspect of blockchain and cryptocurrency. What I wanted to understand you, especially as it is very important from an investment perspective, is to understand that this is only one aspect of the blockchain industry. Okay, and especially as we are looking at investing, and my approach is completely to invest in technology. I'm approaching this as technology investments. It is really it's really important to understand how many aspects of our life, how many different industries, how many different sectors this can touch, and how companies and people they are working or users in this industry are benefiting from blockchain technology, how it improves productivity, how it improves the kind of like user experience and so on. Because these are the companies that we're going to, the projects that we're going to be investing in. Okay, so obviously the financial aspect is something that touches us all, because obviously, we need a medium of exchange, and that touches everything that we do. But it's the same thing that happened with Bitcoin, as Bitcoin was the first use case, because he actually made that point, and that was possible. But then, the real growth of the blockchain industry has been away from Bitcoin, because once we've proven that we can do that in a decentralized way, what else we can do? And this is where the big increase in blockchain use cases has come from 2017 on. Once really the first project started appearing on the Ethereum network, and this is we're moving away from just financial transactions, and we go on to decentralization really in full. In its full capacity of what it can do. And what we are seeing now, and I'm going to just share my screen for another moment. Obviously, we've been talking, you would need to be deaf and blind not to have heard about Cardano. But what we have been experiencing recently, this is it's a daily chart. Okay, let me just make it a little bit smaller. So this is Cardano that's sitting at the moment all-time high. Okay, so with the previous one was at 247. Now we have touched 255 actually today. Okay, now we're about 250. But this is kind of the largest of the cryptocurrency projects that have actually revisited the April-May highs. It is significant, obviously, because we know that Cardano is releasing the smart contracts on the 12th of September, and so everything that comes. We're not going to go there again. But the one thing that's interesting to notice is that when we're talking about Cardano, we are talking really about blockchain 3.0. Okay, so blockchain 1.0 being Bitcoin, 2.0 being Ethereum, and 3.0 being Cardano and other projects like Cardano. Because what is important to understand is that the smart contracts on Cardano are different from everything we've seen before. It's not the same as just because you hear that word, smart contracts. It's not the same as smart contracts in Ethereum, and we'll be able to do a lot more, and you interact with the smart contracts in Cardano in a completely different way that we've done with Ethereum. And we will see with time. This is why there is so much excitement about this project. It is because they are really establishing a new standard. Okay, and not just that, but they'll be offering the full stack of through their ecosystem, the full stack of steps we need to go from zero. So people that just have a mobile phone that can't even connect to the internet. So we're gonna have connectivity, we're gonna have identity, we're gonna have a financial system, and obviously we're going to have apps built on Cardano and so on. We're going to start seeing very soon small countries operating on Cardano, running their elections on Cardano and running a lot of the public services on the Cardano blockchain. So this is why there is so much interest in this. We're going to see a few more things, but for a moment, I just wanted to give Duncan the word. Duncan, did you want to intervene and talk about something before I move on to other bits of news, because I could carry on forever.
We know you could. I'm loving it. I'm just still getting my bits out about the micro school, to be honest with you. And I was just dropping into the chat there. Main thing, I say this every week. If you've got any questions, don't leave it till there's only 5 minutes to go. But specifically this week, if you've got questions about the micro school, this would be a really, really good time to ask. I assume you guys have seen it. I'm sorry to bang on about it, but I've only got 2 days to get everybody set up and onboarded, so I must take some time on this. I'm going to drop the link in again if you haven't seen it. If you have, and I haven't seen your name on the having joined yet, assume you might have some questions, and Luca is more than happy to answer those. And me from the Genius U side, if you've got questions about how does it actually work, you know, timings and blah blah blah, you know, just get them in there and let's get it covered now and today. I've put the code in there for you as well, guys. Crypto VIP and the link to join. And that makes it just. I know Luca doesn't like to talk about money. It makes it $262, I think, or $282, 200 English pounds roughly. And I can tell you from my experience, with the right or wrong advice, you can easily lose or make that in about 5 minutes. So back to you, Luca. That's all I wanted to add for now.
Okay, so let me carry on then and talk about a few more things. Okay, share my screen again. Okay, so a few more things, and now here we're talking about kind of like the adoption rate and things that are making adoption rate easier for a lot of users, where again that will not really know that they are accessing blockchain, but they'll do it because that's just the way that the retailers that they're interacting with or the services provider they're interacting with are integrating blockchain into their offering. Now, one thing to notice here, and the second largest US mortgage lender will accept crypto payments this year. So again, this is not just about retail, but even like paying your bills, paying your mortgage, you'll be able to do it with initially with Bitcoin, and then you know, as this organization moves slowly, so they will accept Bitcoin first, and then they will accept other cryptos as well. But that's a really interesting thing to notice, just to say what the adoption is. So everybody, big organization, these are massive organizations, they are taking notice, and they're wanting to do it because their customers that are asking them to. Okay, so this is another win, and I'll go through this quite quickly because there's a lot of these things. Walmart, for all the US, for our US friends, you know, they go and do their weekly shopping in Walmart. Now, Walmart is looking to get into crypto payments, so hiring a digital and cryptocurrency lead. And this is the same position that Amazon was advertising for a couple of months ago. So we know that both Walmart and Amazon, these are just two of the biggest names, and you know, many other companies are looking to integrate crypto payments within their offering. And we were talking, I can't remember if it was last week or a couple of weeks ago, we were talking about this kind of like Alchemy Pay, which is kind of like a payment provider, like point of sale terminal producer that was integrating crypto in the point of sale. So really, literally, where you're going to soon, you're going to go to your local restaurant and they're going to ask you, how would you like to pay? You know, cash, card, or crypto. And why is this important? Is because it gives it credence in front of everybody's eyes, you know, that will be able to see this is real. It's not something they heard about, and then they're not, you know, the people that are scaremongering and saying the crypto is all kind of like a scam, and there are many of those, especially in the US. Now we're seeing actually happening in the real world, and these kind of like products making their way onto the front line. Okay, another something along those lines, but just more on the online social media, is TikTok. Who uses TikTok here? I know it's for a younger audience, but TikTok integrates Audius as the first music streaming partner. Now, Audius is on the blockchain, offer a similar service to Spotify, Okay, so what it will be, but there are a lot more individual artists on audio, so although there are some big names as well. So people will be able to seamlessly use their audio tracks onto TikTok. And so as a result, we've seen audio kind of like growing as soon as the news was released by over 100%, and is near the all-time high that reached in May already. That will bring a ton of users again into interacting with blockchain, because they're going to have these things available to them, and sometimes some of them will not even know that they are using blockchain. They just be using TikTok and just using the tracks that are available on TikTok. Okay, so we are seeing, as I was saying, the move that a lot of people will interact with the blockchain, not consciously, but in a way unconsciously, because they're using some of the products that are being offered, like NFTs, like these music tracks, like videos they are downloading, but they'll be downloading from the blockchain rather than from a provider like Netflix. Okay, so this is another interesting. And also I wanted to talk very quickly about scams, because something we don't talk about very often, but it is important to understand, because we are responsible for our own safety online. And a lot of the scams will target you directly, either through emails, or like things like this has been happening quite a lot to especially to some of the biggest names. Okay, so we're talking about, this is in the Cardano Reddit, but it's been the same thing has been happening to Elon Musk and to Michael Saylor and some big names. What this scam is doing will take real videos from the founder of Cardano or from Elon Musk. They're talking at a particular conference or something like that. They put them in a box on YouTube, and next to it you'll have a big announcement like send us I don't know 1,000 ADA and get 2,000 ADA back, or send us half a Bitcoin and you get 1 Bitcoin back. All these kind of news, and there are again on different targeting different blockchains, so not necessarily just Cardano, but other projects as well. And the interesting thing is that YouTube and Google owns YouTube, for those of you that don't know it already, are doing nothing to stop this. These are scams. They are very visible, and they have got the technology to stop it, but they're not, because they got a lot of money through their advertising, and these scams are paying for doing these things. And every time something like this happens, even if these guys complain directly, say, please take down these videos, YouTube is not doing anything about it. So we have to be very careful, understand that nobody will give you free money on the blockchain. Okay, the same way as people that are walking down the street will not stop you and give you $1,000. This is not going to happen online either. Okay, but the important thing to understand that you are responsible for your own security. So you'll only be scammed if you let in the scammers. If something is too good to, it looks too good to be true, it normally is. Okay, so be very aware of this. And the other scam that it's a little bit more sophisticated, and this relates to the Ledger cold storage wallet. Don't know how many of you have bought one or how many of you use it, but Ledger as a database got hacked. Actually, funny enough, being a security provider, but the database got hacked. So the scammers got access to the list of people that ordered a Ledger device, and they obviously email address, and they more worryingly their address that the device was delivered to. So what has been happening is that some users are being sent a Ledger device in the post, saying, we realize that there is a problem with your device, just use this one instead. The only thing is that this device has been pre-programmed, and as soon as people actually start using it and transfer their coins onto it, their coins disappear. Okay, so again, be very careful. This will not happen. Nobody will send you free things in the post, and Ledger has posted it everywhere they can, saying we will not send anybody any of these Ledger storage devices that they haven't specifically ordered. Okay, just remember you're responsible for your own security. Okay, now let's move on to the next bit of say another big use case. Talking about here in China, we're moving to China and Alibaba. So one of the biggest companies in the world, again, Alibaba actually launched the NFT marketplace, but even kind of like a regulated NFT marketplace where people will be able to store their IP, international property online, and even copyrighted by the blockchain technology. Okay, it is interesting as well that this is happening in China. After all we've heard about China banning Bitcoin mining and trying to stop exchanges for operating in China and so on, still obviously the technology cannot be stopped. They can slow down the gateways, you know, but they cannot stop the technology from progressing. So this is where we're seeing this is why it's important to notice, because the biggest companies in the world are actually starting to provide services now on the blockchain. Okay, next, and I'm really sorry if I'm rushing through today, but there are quite a few things to look at, and I would just wanted you to get an understanding of the amount of information that I look through every day, because this is just a snapshot of very few of the articles that I've selected, but there have been so much going on, and it is important for somebody to actually look beyond and tell you why all these things are happening, and just explain them to you in a simple language. Okay, next, on-chain analysis, and this is again, it's hard data. There has been a drop in both, I mean, this article in particular talks about Bitcoin, but also about Ethereum on exchanges. So to understand that when you want to transact, buy and sell, when you want to sell Bitcoins on Ethereum, generally it needs to be on an exchange where you can facilitate, the exchange can facilitate the sale for you. When these tokens are taken away from the exchanges and put into cold storage, is showing that there is not a propensity to sell, but people are holding because they can see that their value going up. Okay, and we see normally when there is a big drop in the market, you can see then these coins making their way back to the exchanges because they're ready to be sold. Okay, but escaping from the exchanges means it's kind of like bullish, and it can suggest, as we were talking already last week, and I'll show you that chart with the kind of like the buy signal from the hash ribbons. It's showing you that we really established a macro bottom around the $30,000 level. Okay, we are fighting now against the resistance level of about 48 to 51, but we're getting very many signals now that we've established a bottom of that around that 30,000 level. Okay, a couple of news and then we go on to questions. Okay, here Galaxy Digital partners with Bloomberg for a DeFi index. Okay, again, why is this DeFi? It's decentralized finance. And again, why is it important to have an index? Because an index is kind of like a way of valuing these projects, and an index that is recognized by everybody can be used then to trade these projects. So before we get institutional adoption or some of these things, we need to have an index in place. Now we know that we have a cryptocurrency index, you know, already working. Now we got this is a subset of a cryptocurrency index because it's a decentralized finance index. Okay, and we can so having projects included like Uniswap, Aave, Maker, Compound, Yearn Finance, Synthetics, SushiSwap, 0x, and Yuma. These are all projects that are included in this index. Okay, and again, it is showing the establishment on the index. It means that there is a lot of institutional demand for decentralized finance. Okay, so we have fight back from the bank, but this is the demand is huge, and this is why this is happening. So this is why I pointed it out to you. It's something that you probably wouldn't open if you see it as a headline, because you don't know the importance of that. But this is what it means. and then this is something again relating to Cardano, kind of like there are predictions of silly prediction on prices, but it's important to understand that you don't really need to find incredible new projects simply to do well in cryptocurrency. Just see what's in front of you, and the opportunities you have in some of the bigger projects are there for everybody to take. Okay, I'm just here to kind of make you making you aware of this and bringing it to your attention. But they're already there. Okay.
Loads of questions, Luca, and not so much time. So shall we move on to some
I will
questions?
stop the screen and let's move on to the questions.
Okie doke. Not necessarily in order of appearance, but maybe in order of the ones that we can answer quite quickly, and then I'll leave some time for maybe the ones that you want to go into a bit more. Simple, practical question about the micro school from Stan. I have my unboxed Ledger Nano X on my shelf. Would you cover the setup of the Ledger in the micro school? And I'm sure Stan doesn't mind me telling us that he's just signed up for the micro school, so he will be on it. Will you cover it on that, or is it something he should look at for homework before he starts the micro school?
It's something we can cover if we have time. It just as a subject itself, it takes quite a while to go through how to set up a Ledger device, and there are some very good videos that will come when we have bought the Ledger device that will cover what you need to know. It's quite simple, but it is a little bit time consuming to set up a device. So if we do that, it would take about half a session on its own just to do this. But we can go through the steps. I can just like skim through the steps that you need to take to set it up, which is not that difficult. But I can point you, if you don't already have them, to the videos that are available to store your coins on a Ledger device.
We can send some links if you've got them to Stan as part of his onboarding, can't we? If he wants to get ready with that before he starts the micro school. A quick question.
So, but if you will not, sorry. One thing is that at the moment, to get started, this is something that comes after. The important thing that I want to get everybody to be able to do is to set yourself up, knowing which accounts you need to open, how to open, and importantly, how to open them safely, because there is kind of like a best way of doing things, and there is like a just do it way. And the second way is the one that will cause you trouble in the long term, that will make you then a possible target of hackers. But if you set up correctly, then you will protect yourself well. So I want everybody to set up, to start getting comfortable on how to buy and sell, because that's what you will need to do to make yourself comfortable on how you do any research on studying the different projects, and then how you should plan and execute your portfolio in a way that it's not only advantageous for you because you can make money, but also it's safe from a portfolio management point of view. So those are the big targets of the school. The storage will come later once you have got your coins. You need to get your coins first to then transfer them onto a Ledger device, and they will be fine for a few days on the exchange before you transfer them. And we'll be talking about different things as well, because then you need to make a decision on what to do if you want to get advantage of some staking or some coins, and that will not be possible from your cold storage device. So it's kind of a trade-off between what you want to do, and especially depends on what coins you buy, to see if you're going to operate them from your Ledger device or from an exchange account. Okay, next question.
All right, so a couple of quick kind of practical based questions from Dimitri, and then we've got a couple of nice questions, one from Pierre that came in ages ago, so he didn't leave until the last minute this time, and a nice open-ended question from Eni that we can maybe finish on, so just maybe or leave some towards the end. From Dimitri, can you please quickly re-explain what you meant when you were talking about videos on blockchain? And did you mean you can download videos directly or store them, or what did you exactly mean?
Yeah,
Can you
look at Theta. Just Dimitri, look at Theta network, okay, and you'll understand. Similar as what Audius is doing for the audio, Theta is doing for the video, but also Theta offers a lot more. It's a layer one. It's a layer one blockchain. It's got smart contracts of its own and so on. So have a look at that project, and that will explain. And I can see another question from Dimitri as well that talks about
can you see
Ethereum and Cardano.
Basically,
Dimitri, Cardano is already proof of stake, and you'll be able, anytime you can exchange Ethereum for Cardano. That will not change. Okay, and the same thing when Ethereum switches to proof of stake, you still that will change what you do with your mining rig, because obviously you won't be able to mine Ethereum anymore, but you'll still be able to exchange Ethereum for ADA. That will not change. Okay, it will change the use that you put your mining rig to. So you will need to mine something else or do something else with your GPU cards. Okay, next.
So, nice question from Pierre. And do you know what Pierre did, which has really helped me? He's put the subject of his question in capitals. So I've been able to go back and find it from 20 minutes ago. Luca, if you were supporting the traditional bank model and had a very superior post in the industry, what would you have done more or differently to give the crypto industry a total knockout blow or very hurting blow? What do you think they should do better if they want to try to beat crypto or stop it in its tracks?
Well, they can't do anything now, I don't think. They could have done it in, talking about 2012, 2013, maybe. They had the chance of doing it, but now it's too late. So I'm thinking, if you see now the smart bankers now are joining the industry, and they're offering, because at the moment, what the smart people are doing, they are looking at the gaps, and there are still a lot of gaps. When you're talking about the full stack of crypto, if you're thinking about somebody that doesn't have any crypto, doesn't know how to access the network, to owning their own coins, there are quite a few steps that are worrying, or they are technically difficult for somebody to access, and that's where the banks are kind of like finding their way in. They're thinking, we'll make it easy for you. We'll keep your coins. We use our security for your funds and so on. And so that is where they are finding their way in and trying to use the trust in inverted letters, the fact that they've had access to our funds for so many years, and we trust them, although they've been robbing us blind. But people do trust them, and they're just trying to use that trust for allowing their customers to access the cryptocurrencies. Okay. I hope that answers that question. Next.
Wonderful. And so, yeah, I suppose to summarize, if you had the top job in a bank, what you'd do is you'd be looking to leave now and get involved in a crypto company. Good answer.
Many people are. Many people are.
Yeah. So, a really nice question from Annie, I thought, anyway. And I noticed exactly, I know why she's asked this question, because I saw the same news as she did everywhere this week. The news this week was that there was the biggest cryptocurrency hacking. I think I've seen 3 or 4 different biggest cryptocurrency hackings over the last couple of weeks, which she believes still shows that electronic money is vulnerable. And so what do you think about that?
It's not, electronic money is not vulnerable at all. It's the smart contracts side that are vulnerable. And we're talking about the hacking here. They're not hacking the blockchain. They're hacking a decentralized finance smart contracts. And this is one of the issues where we're talking about when we're looking into technical details, okay? And this kind of vulnerability inherent to the Ethereum programming language. So and this is what the hackers are exploiting, is this. Okay, and this is why everybody's so excited about Cardano, because that's what we're talking about, the next level up of smart contracts that have as a much higher security than is possible on Ethereum. So this is what we're looking at. We're not looking at, the cryptocurrency is perfectly safe. Is some of the what we're saying always in the industry is like, know your keys, not your coins. So you need to have control of your keys. And when you're interacting with some of these projects, you kind of like put your trust in the provider, in this case in the smart contract. And sometimes, you know, the code itself is not 100% safe, and this is what is happening. So it depends. If you don't need to, you don't need to interact with these projects. If you value your security, you're taking a risk. Whenever you are interacting with a third party, there is counterparty risk, and there is risk of having your coins on Binance, on Coinbase, on Kraken, anywhere that you don't have control of your keys. There is a counterparty risk. So yeah, as simple as that. This one, but there is no customer services that will give you your money back. The security is in your hands. So that's why it's important. What we'll be talking about in the micro school, we're talking about your security and how we can at least do the best we can to just make sure that what we do online is safe. Okay, so this is very, very, very important.
Yeah, actually, Luca, and I will quickly just flash them up. Jonathan shared with me a couple of online scams that he wanted to share, and you can see that these ones look like this. Unfortunately, they've got the same bloke on. I don't know if he's the scammer or whether they're using his picture, poor guy.
Yeah, this is exactly what I was referring to earlier on. And this is kind of like if you see this video, the one with Charles Hoskinson talking, that's a real video on his channel. Okay, so what they've done, they copied a video that's publicly available, and they framed it, and then they framed it in something like this ADA giveaway. And it looks like official because they got the Cardano logo, they got the QR code, and basically you need to send your coins into this address. Okay, and once they're onto this address, they're gone forever. But the point is that he's been trying. Every time something like this happens, he himself and other people, we had Elon Musk in similar things. So we got a video with Elon Musk where people say, send me your Bitcoins, I'll send you double the amount back. And they get online to YouTube and Google straight away, but they won't take it down. Or they won't, they might take it down, but then another 10 appear the day after. So they won't stop people using these kind of scams. Okay, so it's exactly what we're talking about, and it's important to understand that these things go on. Nobody will give you any free money. So if it is free money, just discard it because it's a scam.
It seems to me that in the real vulnerability most of the time are the people involved, aren't they? And the people who are getting scammed tend to. I'm not sort of putting the responsibility or the blame onto these people, but it's often it takes us to press the button, doesn't it, or us to follow the link, or us to open the email for us to reveal our own vulnerabilities, and being aware of all that certainly makes a big difference. I know when I sort of switched everything from just being able to open up the app on my phone and see everything I'd got in cryptos right there and transfer it in and out like anybody could if they picked up my phone, and I took your advice and created a unique email address, etc., etc. You just feel a whole lot better, don't you? Because you straight away I knew, well, if I do leave my phone in a taxi, somebody who can do my quite simple shape on the screen can't just take all my money out. So these things make a huge difference, even though they only seem small and don't take long to put right. I'm just having a check while I'm waffling, Luca, to see if there are any more. Jaya may have to leave because of her daughter on the YAA course, so that's absolutely fine. Luca and I will be in touch, Jaya, to get you all ready for the micro school starting on Monday if you have to go. Congratulations once again.
Goodbye, Jaya. Well done. Congratulations, and see you. Look forward to seeing you on Monday.
Yeah, I think we're kind of no more questions. Anybody out there? Final questions about the micro school, about the week in crypto, about anything else we can possibly extract from Luca for another 7 minutes? Is there anything you'd like to talk about, Luca? Important. There's a couple of messages.
Jonathan was saying, in the message I noticed you can stake ADA from your from your cold wallet. This is fine. And ADA is one of those projects where you can do that, but you can do it with that, not with everything you can. From some projects there is that capability. But you see the big issue sometimes is that there are so many different projects, and if you really wanted to, potentially you could stake a lot of them with the protocol itself. But it becomes quite a task if you have got many coins in your wallet to actually interact directly with the protocol, and a lot of them are not easy to use at all. So this is why things like Binance, like Kraken, like even Nexo and Celsius are found customers, because they make it easier for people to interact. But there is a price to pay. Like for everything, there is a price to pay. I mean, ideally, that's the ideal position would be to to do what Jonathan suggested, but if it is possible, when it is possible. But if it isn't, then you have to make your mind up. If it's more important for you to get a return and lose control of your keys, or if you want to keep control of your keys and get and don't get returns. So. And by the way, we want to talk about with Jonathan. We've been talking about last week about Cardano and Jonathan launching a stake pool. If he's ready next week, we can give you an insight on what he's doing. It would be really interesting to have a deep dive into Cardano and how you interact with it, and how you support him as well as one of our community that is active in this arena. So. It'd be great. Come back next week and you can learn more about it.
Yeah, I absolutely can't wait to hear about that, actually. It's a shame we haven't got any news this week, but it's something to look forward to for next week, isn't it? And we're going to have loads to look forward to next week, of course. Luca, it's occurred to me that next Friday we have the presentation session of the micro school. We'll still be back for Crypto Hour.
Yes, it's fine. We still do the crypto hours and then the presentation after that.
Wonderful. Yeah. Although anybody who's on Crypto Hour next week and hasn't been on the micro school will seriously have been missing out. So I hope you'll be suitably remorseful for when you find out everything that everybody knows that you might not yourself. Look, once more, I'll just say the code is in the chat. I'm going to put it in again. Please allow me. It's Crypto VIP in capital letters, and you need to go to this link here that I'm putting in to make your purchase if you want to join the micro school. If you want, and if you've got questions, guys, I really thank Luca for saying what he said. I do want to try and get a weekend off because I'm going to have a busy week next week anyway, because I've got all the stuff to do, and also want to support Luca with the micro school. So if you can sort of make your decision if you're going to join us ASAP, so I can get you replied to, onboarded, get you set up so you've got access to the micro school online, got the Zoom links, etc., and then we don't have to worry about it too much over the weekend, and we can get some rest. If you've got questions, email me or email Luca. Luca's going to drop his in because I always forget it and it's a bit of a funky one. I'm going to put mine in, duncan@geniusu.com. Happy to jump on a quick call. I haven't got all the time in the world, but I'm sure I can cover questions over 10 or 15 minutes if anybody's got them. And there's Luca's email, so you can get directly in touch with him as well.
Same here. I've got a couple of free hours this morning if everybody wants to chat. So just send me an email and we'll arrange a call. I also wanted to give an extra little sweetener of people that are thinking of joining me next week, and in the sense that I really want everybody in the end to be part of the community that I run, with throughout the year. It goes on for it's a program that goes on for the whole year. So what I'm offering to everybody is that if you join the micro school next week, then the money that you pay for the micro school will be completely deducted from joining the Crypto Investor Club if you are interested in joining that for the long term. So you don't need to make that decision now. You can do the micro school next week, and if you are interested in joining the Investor Club later, that money will be completely deducted from the price that you need to pay. So it will be essentially, if you join the Crypto Club, the micro school will be for free. Okay.
Just a question in from somebody in the private chat, but I would, rather than answering them, although it's a perfectly reasonable question, I will just give the answer for everybody's benefit. The cost of the micro school that we're talking about now, that starts on Monday, is $470, but with the code crypto VIP, you can get 40% off, which makes it $282 only. And then what Luca's just explaining is he's obviously got his 12-month Crypto Investor Club private community where he advises us every couple of weeks. You've got a huge load of introductory content on that, and the full portfolio, of course, that Luca recommends. It's a much bigger product. And what Luca's saying is that if you pay $282 now for the micro school and you decide afterwards to join the private community, you can deduct your $282 from the 970 that would cost you. So that's just to clarify, because somebody did ask me in the chat.
And again, another thing that I've got a couple of things in the pipeline, so I won't be able to keep those those price levels for long, as I kind of like I will be moving the structure of what I do into something else. So the 970 offer is not going to be there for long.
Well, Dana has a very, very good point, and I'm pretty sure I know the answer to it because it's just logical. Dana has just said, look, if I go ahead and join the Crypto Club, the 12-month program, does that mean that I'm getting the micro school for free? Well, it absolutely does, yeah. Yes. Because so you can do it that way around if you want as well, guys. And I can give you the link for that. You just go to Luca's circle, click on products, and you'll see them all there. But if you go ahead and make that purchase and join us on the 12-month program, Dana, then I will see that and I will absolutely make sure that you get onboarded inclusively. We call it free, of course, onto the micro school starting on Monday. Great point. Thanks for pointing that out. I kind of missed that. So you think you've got all bases covered, but
Jonathan wanted to say something.
Is my mic working? Is that all good?
Yes, it is.
Yes,
it
okay,
is.
Good. Yeah, I just wanted to endorse your education, Luca, because the sort of things that you're telling people are the safest way to get involved in the market. And any money you spend on education is going to come back to you like immediately. I can give you an example. I signed my dad up with a new Cardano wallet yesterday. I've been on holiday with him this past week, and he made £443 in a day. So there's massive potential in crypto, and any education you pay for is going to come back to you because you'll be learning from the best at the beginning with all safety in mind, and it'll last you for your entire rest of your life. So the investment now is worth it. I've paid for crypto courses myself, and I'm now in the industry earning money from it. So yeah, this is the way to go, definitely. And yeah, I've been on these calls for months now, and I haven't heard Luca make a single step wrong. So I fully endorse it. Go for it.
Thank you very much, Jonathan. Great, thank you. It's something that I don't often talk about because it's only at the start of the year that I decided to get into sharing this with a large number of people. Before that, I was just sharing it with friends and acquaintances on a one-to-one basis. So what I decided to do in January, on the 1st of January, so New Year's Day, I bought a basket of cryptocurrencies, to show people that the gains are possible, not if you invested in 2011, but the gains are possible now. Okay, so what I did, I bought a basket of 27 different cryptocurrencies on the 1st of January, and I invested 10,000 euros in it. Okay, so to show people where are we now compared to where we were at the beginning of the year. At the moment, that is standing from the 10,000 euros that I invested. I'll do it in dollars because everything here is reported in dollars. But they're becoming, which were about $12,000 at the time, they become now 51. Okay, so investment is showing about 270% profit. So that means profit on top of of your investment. So that means a growth of more than 3.5 times on your initial investment. So this is the kind of things that are possible by getting involved now I'm not talking about, I'm clever because I invested. Yes, I'm not even showing you what the returns are on the money that I invested in 2018 and 2019, because I don't really want to mislead you. Because then if we start talking about thousands and thousands and tens of thousands of percentage points, it's kind of like almost like difficult to believe. But this is what is happening right now. And funny enough, Cardano is the biggest gainer in that time. Has grown from the 1st of January. I'm looking at it now, 1,275%. Okay, and this is just a one project. I had another project that are now partially sold. They grew over 2,000% on the 1st of January. So these are the kind of things that you can identify and you can invest in, and the difference they can make to your portfolio. I mean, those $12,000 have turned into 51 in 6 months. And this is, by the way, this is without counting the interest, the rewards received for holding some of these currencies. On average, we're talking about between 8 and 10% interest. And, Cardano, for example, pays between 5 and 6%. Now multiply times 12, because that's the kind of like growth that we've had. That 5 or 6% it turns into 60% of my investment in 6 months just in interest received. Okay, so it's quite powerful, guys. What it can do, and what I'm trying to say. I'm not gonna mention that now. The project of the grew 2,000% because it's not kind of a good time to invest in it now. But if you want, I can talk about it next week for those that turn into the micro. As we're not anything worth investing now. Dimitri, you're gonna have to come onto the investor club that around throughout the week. So I'm not talking about projects here because this is kind of proprietary information that I spend a lot of time retrieving, and I'm not being funny, but I'm not giving that away for free. Okay. But anyway,
try. Dimitri's quite new, and to be fair, Andrew has stuff like this almost every week, so yeah. It's worth a try,
But to be honest with you, although I don't come and speak about singular project, but if you talk about the things I'm talking about, just between the lines, you can see a lot of the project that I support. So I mean, if you come on the calls, I would have mentioned, you would have had, as I say, you have to be deaf and blind not to have heard about Cardano and Polkadot that I mention every single time. But those are just two of the biggest names, but there are many other. Since January, I've bought about 40 different projects are part of my portfolio.
Oh, wonderful. One thing I love about Crypto Hour is that it's often not just an hour, is it? And nobody minds. Everybody just wants more. Nobody can really get enough. Really happy to say that some of us on the call here, while we've been on, have gone ahead and booked up, and we will be seeing those guys on Monday, 9 a.m. UK time. So really happy you're going to be seeing those guys along with Jaya as well. I'm going to be there supporting Luca, making sure that everybody gets started. At least I might not be able to wangle 2 days a week off, a day off all week, but I'll certainly be there to support. And if you have joined up, I'll be in touch with Luca to get you onboarded and all ready to go. Just another quick point from Dimitri. Being in Sri Lanka, it allows me to be on the same playing field as UK or US. Yeah, that's true, isn't it? It's nice. I find being in this part of the world is good for that. And the currency in Sri Lanka depreciated by 13% yesterday. Wow.
Yeah, this is what we were talking about before, and say why cryptocurrency is being adopted by countries like Sri Lanka, like Venezuela, like Argentina. Because the currency is so weak, and people thinking, well, if I've got more than I need for today, and many people are on the bread line anyway, but if I've got more than I need for today and I put it in my pocket in the Venezuelan peso, tomorrow is gone. It's not there anymore. Half of it is gone. It's just like taking, like, you got a mouse in your pocket that's eating your banknotes. This is why this technology is so powerful, because it's a rule-based monetary system, and where nobody has control over the issuance. of new money. Like now, pretty much they can, the governor or the central bank pretty much makes the decisions. Tomorrow we're going to have a few more trillions in the available. And they talk about, guys, when you talk about inflation, it's not price inflation. It's inflation in in the supply of money. So the inflation is completely under control of the central bank. And if they put more money in the system, that means that there is more money to fight for things that people want. Just think about it think about simple economy, a simple barter economy, a little village where everybody does different things and then people exchange. I give you my apple, you give me a slice of meat and so on. Okay. Now, once you introduce money in this equation, if you say that in the old village there is only, let's say we've introduced $100, then the maximum anybody can pay for anything is $100. You can pay more than that because there is no more money in circulation. If that $100 becomes 100,000, now we got $100,000. What do you think that will make? What will happen to the price? The same goods are available to everybody. Just now people have got more money to spend. So instead of paying, $10 for something that is valuable, now people are able to pay $1,000 because there's more money in circulation. Have things changed? Have more apples being produced by the tree? No, they haven't. But there is now more money to buy these things that people would spend it because they want the things that they are consuming. Okay, so this is a very simple concept. The more money in circulation, the higher the prices. Simple as that. You don't need to become an economist. Just remember that. And we have introduced in the past 2 years 40% more money in circulation in our economy. What do you think that will make to the price? Just bear it in mind. So if you have your money sitting somewhere and it's not giving you 20% more per year, you are losing purchasing power. Okay? Simple. So I hope that sinks in. Because whether you do my course and you get involved in crypto, whether you get into property, whatever you need to keep those numbers in your mind. If you're not getting that, then you are losing out.
It's a sobering message,
Mm-hmm.
but it's real, isn't it? Dana says that the power blackouts are going to get worse in South Africa. She's in Zimbabwe, and she says that we need electricity to bank this way, and much of Zimbabwe has little power. So can you see that changing? Hydro's depleting with climate change as well.
I don't know. I'm not an expert on energy, to be honest with you. But although there are established technology, the fade, others are growing, and the solar energy is getting better and better. So hopefully, alternative forms of solar energy, tidal energy, and wind power are all growing and getting cheaper as well. And we're seeing as well with cars now. Electric cars are competing in terms of cost with petrol cars. And we passed the point now where it is now cheaper, over the lifetime of the ownership of a car. It is cheaper now to buy an electric car than it is to buy a petrol or diesel car. And the same way the energy is going the same way now. Kind of like alternative energy production is now competing and taking market share from oil. Hopefully, Dan. I mean, I don't know what it's like in South Africa. I can tell you actually what it will happen, but I can see the bigger tidal movements and where the economy is going in the long term.
I'm going to rephrase Dimitri's point. He made a good point. I think if I rephrase it for him, he might appreciate it. He says, I would love to join the micro school, Luca, but you don't allow people to pay in crypto. So I'm pretty sure
we can arrange that. We can arrange that. It's not a problem. It's not a problem. Just send me an email, Dimitri, if you want. You can send crypto directly to my MetaMask wallet. Okay.
There we go. I think it should be taken as a given for all. I think Dimitri's right. If you're a crypto person and you're selling crypto-based products, then you should be taking cryptos in payment. And if you spot anybody who doesn't, you should certainly point it out to them. But I think we can all, I think we can take it as read that Luca will accept your coins, whatever they may be.
It's not my problem. Is that you have to raise it with Genius U. I'll take anything.
Yeah, don't worry, I will arrange it.
So exactly. So I don't have any problem taking Bitcoin, taking Ethereum, ADA, or whatever else you want to part with.
As the story develops, it's actually getting better, Luca. So Dimitri said that he will pay in Ether if he can have a discount, and I'm prepared to give him a 40% discount. So just drop us an email, and we'll get that hooked up.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, no problem at all. It's not an issue. It's not an issue.
Okay. Guys, any more points? It's been really nice to spend a bit of extra time. I don't know if anybody's got anything more to add. I know that Arthur's joining us on Monday. Stan's joining us on Monday. Cornelia is joining us on Monday. Of course, Jaya is joining us on Monday. Dimitri's going to send us some Ether and join us also on Monday. So we're nearly all in. Luca, how do you feel? Everything all right? Are we ready to go for Monday?
Yeah, I'm ready to go. I mean, you know what, the most difficult thing for me on the week is actually fitting everything in. that's the issue, because I've got so much. I mean, I could go on for weeks talking about this stuff. But you know, I am kind of like, it's more difficult to be brief about things. You know, if we can go into details as much as you want, you can spend lots of time, but I need to cover a lot in in the sessions that we have next week. So it's going to be filled with content, but we also, every day you're going to have about 20 to 30 minutes to cover questions, because it is practical things. So you're going to encounter issues or you can't quite remember what you need to do and so on. So we'll cover that every single day and make sure that you got it right.
You know, this has been a great call for me. Of course, I want to get people onto the micro school and just spending those few dollars. But really, it's about everybody all being in the same place, all having the same information and moving forward together. Because I just mentioned a few people who joined up for micro school on Monday. Actually, now I've looked at the people who are on the call. The people who haven't are already part of your 12-month program, I think, or at least one of them, Luca. So everybody here is part of your big GU crypto investor community now, and that's really, really nice to see, because I have to be honest, from when we started doing that, this has been my main objective, is to get everybody into your community and committed, and then everybody's got the same information and we can all know what we're talking about. And I bet as these crypto hours move forward with the extra information, our questions will start to develop, and the whole thing will become more and more interesting as time goes on, as it has from the very start.
Actually, just before we finish, just as a parting gift, it's if you go to the Crypto Investor Club on Genius U, I posted there yesterday. I posted about an interview between Charles Hoskins and Ben Goetzel of Singularity University and the nurse robot that they have created, powered by artificial intelligence. Go and look it up, because it's so interesting, especially when we have in the West, we have an aging community, and I personally have been involved with some of my extended family in trying to provide help from all the people, and any of you that have tried the same and tried dealing with the agency nurses might have found out how difficult that can be. And once the cost makes that generally available, this will be a huge game changer, I think, for a lot of people that are approaching the time in their life when they need help with their daily tasks. So go and look it up and see how advanced this is already, and how it just like the science fictions that we had in the 70s and 80s, now it's actually becoming true. So we need to harness the power of artificial intelligence and use it for the right reason. This could be a good use case for it.
Well, it seems that human intelligence is running out of it in certain quarters, doesn't it? You know, so definitely the faster we can harness the power of artificial intelligence, it's going to get us wherever we need to go. Well, can't wait for Monday, guys. Thank you for your attention and everybody's time, and of course, super thanks to Luca, extra generous as ever with his time. Lovely to see you all here. I'm going to see you all here again next week, and as I said, we're going to be talking about everything we picked up on the micro school and more, I'm sure. And Jonathan is going to be telling us some stuff next week. Yeah, you're going to be taking a little spot, taking the mic for a bit. Really.
Yeah, no pressure.
Yeah,
no
fingers
pressure,
crossed.
Jonathan.
No pressure. No.
Pressure.
We're all professionals here. You
And
know,
then
we can handle it if it goes wrong.
And then you can tell us
Thanks,
how many
everybody.
blocks you created last week. Eh?
Yeah. Wonderful. Thanks,
Okay.
everybody. Thank you again, Luca, and see you all on Monday if you're going to be there, and if not, see you here next Friday.
Okay. Goodbye, everyone. Have a great
Thanks,
weekend.
Luca, Duncan. Bye-bye.
Bye. Bye-bye.
Recording stopped. Do you want to stay on for a second, Luca?
Thanks, Maxim. Yep. So really generous with your expertise and your skills and your time. So